Enjoy your meeting. Just a reminder, today's meeting is being recorded.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Angela of Leading Well Now Leadership. I am stoked to be with you this morning, mostly because we decided this week, with all the excitement about Artemis's accelerated leadership coaching, to share out some really key information to you that will help not convince anybody or twist anybody's arm, but just open maybe some friends and family minds to the possibility of what you're designing by choosing a life of entrepreneurship and network marketing. And it might even open up minds of strangers that you meet. I come across people all the time that I think would be amazing at this business, and this is one way that you can speak with them clearly without dumping all over them about your business and about your product and giving them way too much information when you're first getting started. So hopefully this will be really helpful to you. If you are in a position now to take notes, I would highly recommend you do that. Artemis really advocates for you using this script in its so words described. So I'm going to be really clear about how it works so that you can utilize it just the way she does. Remember that Artemis first, I'll just give a little background on her. She's a network marketing been in the industry for years and shares out her amazing knowledge through CDs and recordings that she's done over the years. She came to our Ignite networking event that we held in February here in Glendale, Arizona, and she had such great insight. A lot of people felt really compelled to learn more from her. And so many of us signed up for what she titled the Accelerated Leadership Coaching or Mentoring. So we have a conference call opportunity with her every couple months. We also were able to get many of her resources at a very reduced cost. That was such a blessing. So we get to work with her as a small group interactively. We also get a chance to listen and take her information with us on the road. So, in fact, I got a call from Nan Gillespie last night and my mom, Deborah Lehman, both of whom were listening to Educating Your Expectations, one of her CD series, on the way home from our business class last night. So a lot of people are really plugging into her amazing training and leadership, and this is one strategy that she taught us already from the get-go that we wanted to pass along to our whole team. So hopefully you'll find this really helpful and interesting as we get started today. I see a lot more people joining the call, so welcome to our call. You're not late. You're just on time. We're going to begin by talking about open-minding people to the opportunity of network marketing. I do like to have these Friday morning calls be interactive, so I'd like to hear questions that come up for you. I'd like to hear insight that you have in using this strategy already. I'd be interested in knowing just any comments that you have after I'm finished presenting it. Does anyone have any questions before we get started with this activity this morning? Okay, well, I'm going to share a file on the screen, so hopefully you can see it. We had an awesome opportunity last night let me just throw this in here really quickly and then I'll be ready. We had an opportunity last night to teach our Intro to Business class, which is a little bit different than it's been before. We are shifting it to match our branding, and I think you're going to really like what we're doing. Now, the Intro to Business class and its script is almost as important for the OYOS class and its script. So we're excited about offering that to you as another class offering that you can give to people in your life. So I'm presenting a file to you now. This is a PDF from Artemis. Let me know if you can see it. Anybody? You want to go off of mute and let me know. Can you see this document okay? Awesome. So the first page of the document, so we don't get background noise. But if you are going to mute either on your phone or hit star 6 keypad to mute, and then if you'd like to speak, unmute yourself, and then you can speak. So if you're following along on the screen, you're looking at the first page of this document that the images are also reflected, like I said, in the Facebook event for this morning, so you can also check them there. But she talks about 2 lifestyles and then how to talk about what our industry is all about. So let's go through it step by step together. You're seeing that. I'm going to pull my notes, and then I think we'll be good to go. Okay. So the first thing that she makes sure we know is that the key is to use these scripts as is. So please resist the temptation to add words and just use it like I'm presenting it this morning. So at the beginning of an interaction with somebody, you can offer an opening connection or compliment. So maybe you really appreciate, I'll use Rachel at my coffee shop as an example, and I always appreciate Rachel's steadfastness. She seems like a very loyal employee, and she's very steady. And so I might say to Rachel, again, if you're on the call, mute your end of the call during this section, and then I'll have a time where we'll come live, and you can chat back with me about what you heard me saying. So I might say to Rachel at my coffee shop, Rachel, I've really noticed over the last few months that I've been getting to know you that you are excellent at providing loyal customer service. I think you might like what I do. And then they typically will say, well, what is it that you do? What do you do? And then I say, do you have 5 to 7 minutes that we could spend together right now? Now, if she's at work, that might not be the most appropriate time, but it might be slow in the coffee shop at the time, and she might be willing to take 5 to 7 minutes with me. If not, then I would set up a time to meet. You know, when's your shift over? I could come back and we could sit down for just 5 to 7 minutes. I just want to show you what I do. And again, this gets away from the elevator pitch, you know, the really quick kind of response of being a wellness coach or a health and business coach. And this really gets at open-minding them to the possibility of joining your team. So before I tell you what I do, may I share something with you? And that's what that's how Artemis says to talk with somebody, to open-mind them at the beginning. So after you have them ask you what you do, you respond with, before I tell you what I do, may I share something with you? I'd like to compare 2 lifestyles. And so I'm looking at the document or the picture of lifestyle number 1. And I think, can you click through the lifestyle? Let me click through to the life. Let me click through to that. Okay, so you should be able to see that on your screen if you're on the iMeet. So the average life expectancy is 80 years, they say. They say we're going to live from, until about 80 years old. And in those first 25 years of life, and I'm drawing this on a piece of paper while I'm talking with them. In the first 25 years of life, we go to school to develop skills. So I'm not taking a handout, mind you. Okay, I'm showing this as I'm drawing it. The first 25 years, we go to school to develop skills. You work hard after those first 25 years, they say, for 40 years, to use those skills to make money. And so I, as a teacher, worked really hard, and I utilized the skills I learned through high school and college to make a living. And then they told me that at 65, I could retire, and then it would be a time for me to enjoy my life. But the truth is, by the age of 70 or before, most people find that they are on a fixed income and have declining health. And so I would draw an arrow on my chart at this point and show, that going down. Declining health, a fixed income, usually not enough to sustain the kind of fun and exciting lifestyle that I would want to live in the rest of my life. So let me show you then the second lifestyle. The average life expectancy is 80 years, and in those first 25 years, we go to school to learn skills. So then you ask the person, they ask how old you are and how long you've been in the workplace. And then you find out about how long that is. And then you ask them, are you where you want to be financially at this point in your career? And let them talk back to you about that. And then ask them this question. If you continue to do what you are doing now for the next 4 to 5 years, will you be set financially? Or what if you could work smart for the next 4 to 5 years and really set yourself up financially so that by the age of 5 years down the road, you could enjoy life on your terms and make money work for you? So, Deborah, I know you're on the call this morning, and you did a great job of presenting this last night. Will you let me be the leader of this conversation? Will you play back with me so we can just do a quick demonstration of how this works? Deborah, my mother, can you get your phone mute? Okay, awesome. Thanks. So, Deborah, I really appreciate just how bubbly and forward-thinking you are. I know that you've been retired from the school district for a few years, and I've watched you interact with people and your family, and, you know, I really appreciate, and I'm complimenting you here, I really appreciate how energetic and enthusiastic you are. You seem to have lots of life, and I think you might really like what I do.
I would love to know more about what you do.
Well, do you have 5 to 7 minutes right now?
Sure.
Great. So let me draw for you here. Lifestyle 1, the average life expectancy is 80 years. So the first 25 years we go to school to develop skills, and you probably found that you worked really hard, so, you know, about 40 years to use your skills to make money. And then you retired at a certain age, and they told you that you could finally enjoy life. Is that true for you?
Well, I retired at 55 from my job.
Awesome.
And then I was looking at a fixed income and enjoying life.
Right, and so like many others who retire, their fixed income is not going to go up anymore. You know, it's kind of set for them for the next 1 year case from 55 to 80. For the next 25 years, it was set, and potentially you could have had declining health. But the second lifestyle, this is the one I want to teach you about, the average life expectancy is still 80 years, and the first 25 years we go to school to learn skills. So if you were in the workplace till 55, or were you at the place financially you wanted to be in your career?
No.
And if you continue to do what you were doing for the next 4 to 5 years, do you think that you would have been set financially for the next 25 years of life?
No, in fact, I've had many teachers tell me that I retired at the right time in education, because since I've retired, salaries have gone down, benefits are less, and more is required out of teachers.
Yeah, so you really did take advantage of a great situation, but it still wasn't enough to provide you the kind of lifestyle you wanted to lead with your family for the next 25 years, correct?
Right.
So if you could work smart for the next 4 years and set yourself up financially, tell me how old you are now.
I am 62.
Okay, so here at 62 years old, if you worked hard for the next 4 to 5 years, learning new skills and really plugging into some to a compressed time frame of skill development, do you think by 67 you would be ready to enjoy life on your own terms?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's awesome to do this example with you, Deborah, because sometimes we think the younger generation has more life ahead of them, but goodness, you've got a whole another lifetime ahead of you if you really use these skills to develop out in the next 4 to 5 years. So let me tell you a little bit about what we do. So the way we compress 40 years or the next 20 years for you into 4 to 5 years is by working with trends. And so people on the call, I'm going to keep working with Deborah on this. but I want you to pay close attention to what I'm drawing. I've now drawn a quadrant on my page, and I'm going to flip ahead on this slide so that you can see it. It's the trends document that's on the Facebook event. What we do is that we compress 4 years into 4 years is working with trends. The largest trend in the world is wellness and beauty. And they say that by the year 2025, this industry is set to hit $1 trillion. So it's a great time to be involved in this trending market. Our solution to people's problems is oil-infused nutrition and healthy living. Seed to Steel Promise that promotes optimal wellness inside and out. Our partner has been in business over 22 years. We're in 74 countries, and last year we crossed $1 billion in revenue, which is amazing. Business is booming for our company. Some people in my leadership group make hundreds of dollars a month. Some people make thousands of dollars a month, and some people make tens of thousands of dollars a month. Where do you see yourself?
Wow. That's pretty awesome. Why not go for the top? How about tens of thousands of dollars? Sounds good to me.
No,
I have a family. I have a family that is very important to me that I would love to teach more about Legacy of Prosperity. So that would be awesome. And I love wellness opportunities. That's been part of my lifestyle since my kids were little. So yes, keep talking. I like it.
Awesome. So this sounds like it would be a great opportunity at this point in my conversation with Deborah to help direct her to know more about my product and more about my business training and coaching. So now that she's interested in doing what I do as a business and health coach. So hopefully this open-minding strategy has been helpful for you to hear today. I'm showing you static pictures on the presentation today. I'm going to go back to the live photo of myself. I will give out this information in our Business Builders group a little bit later today. But I want to, the reason I'm going back to the live picture is because I want to show you, and I didn't bring it up here, but I want to show you that this is something that you would take a pen and a napkin at a coffee shop or at a restaurant or something like that and literally draw on a piece of paper. Some of you know that I carry around a notebook, a Young Living notebook, and I put all my notes in there so that they're all consolidated in one place. So my prospecting notes, my coaching notes, my conference call notes, everything is in the same notebook. That's why it's not up here right now. It's in my purse, ready, packed, and ready to go today. But what is so significant about why I wanted to show you is I probably have this diagram, this opportunity drawing written about 4 or 5 or 6 times in my notebook, because when I've met with people over the last few weeks since learning the strategy, I've been practicing it with others. So I start by talking about it, by complimenting them, by finding something great to mention about who they are. I tell them that you might like what I do, and then they typically ask, what do you do? And so I show them before I get into what I do, I'd like to show you 2 lifestyles. And I draw the 2 lines on a piece of paper, and I show 0 to 80. And I talk about the first 25 years, and I talk about a fixed income, and I discuss declining health, and I'm writing this as I'm talking to them. There are certain words, certain keywords that are on the pictures that Artemis shared and that I shared out too, that you would write. You don't write everything that you say, you just write the keywords. And then you show them as you're drawing what you're working on. And you can actually leave that with them if the time is right, if they want to take it with them. But it's a great way not to sign somebody up right away or to bring them to your business. You told them you were only going to take 5 to 7 minutes of their time. And so at the end of that open minding session, you have lots of options. You can set up another time to meet with them when you're more prepared to talk about the products or your business. You can invite them to an upcoming class. You can get their contact information and ask them if you can follow up with them online and set up another call or another meeting with them. Remember, Eric Worre in GoPro says that it takes at least 7 to 12 exposures for you to really make an impact in how you are approaching people and how comfortable they feel in saying yes to your opportunity. So this is just that first initial exposure. We didn't even mention Young Living. We didn't talk about drops of oil. We didn't talk about, changed health and all of that. Our business story will be important at some point, but this is just an opportunity for you to open mind your guests. I'm going to stop talking for a few minutes. I'm going to invite you to come live on the call and ask questions that you have after hearing about how the strategy works. Maybe give some testimonials about how you've used it already, or perhaps ask questions that you might have. Anyone want to chime in with anything today?
Hi, Ange. It's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Hi, Michelle. Good morning.
Good morning. So super awesome that you're doing this today, because I actually just did this in our business training Tuesday, and we all split up into groups to try this, and then we all came up with the same consensus at the end is, what do we do next? Like, a lot of us were like, okay, give me some more info. I would like to hear more. So if they don't want to come to a class, what would be a great thing to email them, even if they do want to get to the class? Maybe the class isn't for 2 weeks. Like, what could we email to them to keep them engaged and still excited?
Yep. So continuing that conversation and offering them exposure. So hopefully at the end, like my mom was giving a lot of information to me about her interest in wellness products, her interest in talking with other teachers who might be interested in this product or in this opportunity because of their shrinking income. So I would have lots of different directions in my message. So I would always default back to the if I was you, Eric Worre strategy. So find out what their medium, their source of communication is, their best communication. If I gave you this book to read, maybe this is the time where you would give them the 4-year career. If I gave you this book to read, would you take a look at it? And if they tell you, yeah, I would take a look at it, and then ask them. Remember, you're looking for that next meeting. You always set up the next meeting before you leave. So you say to them, I have time in this weekend. It's a Tuesday. We're having a conversation, going with your example. And so I have time this weekend. I can meet up with you on Saturday afternoon. Do you think you could have it read by then? And let them talk back to you about that. Really gauge their interest on how serious they are about getting started. Again, you are just offering these different, they call them the ladder of escalation, these different levels of exposure. Some people are going to want to jump right to a class, and some people are going to rather be stair steps to a class and build a relationship with you. People are not buying your product. People are buying you. You are your best representative. So that would be one thing I would offer. The other thing I would say is if they say, no, I'm not really interested, maybe pick up on the fact that they're not really interested in reading. That's not really how they're going to learn about something. And again, it could be, if I give you this information about essential oils, would you read it? I default to the 4-year career because you're leading with the business and opening their minds to a new lifestyle choice. So the products become not irrelevant at that point, but the products become less important than helping them get trained and introduced to the business model. So then I might ask, if I sent you a video about making an income with my company, would you take a look at it? And I really think, we really think that the This is Young Living video from Vimeo is really a great video. It's about 6 minutes long. And again, I would ask the same question. If I sent that to you this afternoon, do you think you could have watched it by tonight and we could chat about it tomorrow, or that you could get back to me about what you thought and send them and really follow up again with what they like and what they want to know more about.
Perfect answer. Thank you.
That lots of questions about how this might work for you in your, as you talk with people, as you come across people just randomly that service people that you're working with, clients that you're working with in other jobs, colleagues that you rub elbows with or you happen to be good friends with. Do you see how this might change the way you prospect? How are some ways that you see this changing the way that the conversation with others?
I really like the quadrant that Artemis has set up because that makes it exciting for me to see, wow, all of the things right there that I can put out there to someone that I'm sharing with and get some conversation going. So I love the way that she has set that up. We know all that, but to have it set up in that format is clear and concise and keeps us on track as the person sharing. I like it a lot.
Yeah, me too. I also think it's important to note here that always, just a reminder that you're listening more than you're talking. Now, I know we've just taken 4 to 7 minutes presenting 2 lifestyles and then the trends of our industry. But then you're waiting to hear what their responses are, what appealed to them, what didn't appeal to them, and really tailoring your message to meet their needs. I want to give a shout out to my sister-in-law, Andrea, for lots of obvious reasons. But I had a conversation with a woman this week who's in another network marketing industry, and she was privy to a thread in a neighborhood flip-flop group where a woman asked a question in the group and said, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm looking for part-time work. What do you recommend I look into, or something was the woman's question. Well, my friend told me, and I knew this because Andrea and I were in Indiana together, so we were kind of crafting messages together as a team because she was looking for people who were looking. That's one of the qualities of being an entrepreneur, is looking for people who are looking for an opportunity. So. And my friend told me today, like 14 to 16 people wrote back right away. I'm a representative for blah, blah, blah company. I work with this company. I have this product. I think you should try this opportunity. And they all wrote back these like really verbose responses about their company, about their compensation plan, about how little they had to work to make a lot of money, about their products and how awesome their products were, and all blah, 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 blah. And Andrea wrote back. Now, I should find the message and copy and paste it for you. Actually, I'll have her do that when she gets a chance. But her response back was, well, it depends. What are you interested in, and what do you enjoy doing? What are your top 3 reasons for getting started with your own business? And so Andrea wrote back questions instead of talking about her opportunities. Wasn't that smart? So the woman had all these different people kind of pelting her with like snowballs, is what it felt like. And Andrea said, it depends. What are you looking for? And so the woman responded to Andrea and said, I'm kind of interested in da-da-da-da-da. And Andrea said, cool, I'll send you a PM and let's set up a time to chat more. So I offer that to you as another strategy to open mind somebody. My friend in another network marketing company actually wrote to Andrea at that point and said, wow, girl, you are really practicing some great entrepreneur skills. I was so impressed to see what you responded with. And another guy I know also gave Andrea kudos for that as well. So remember that you don't have to be the one to just kind of throw Young Living down somebody's throat, the product or the opportunity. You can simply ask the questions and open mind them to the possibilities that await them when they choose to be become part of Young Living and also part of our Living Well Now team, because we have some really great strategies and some really great solutions to help them solve their problems. Cool, huh? So that completes our training for today. I'm going to stop the recording, and then I'm going to ask you to come live for our accountability questions today. So let me make sure I've got this saved.